Hey, what is up, everybody? I am here to give you my WWE Hell in a Cell 2014 review. Now, I want to thank um, the WWE first, because I really do. This is like awesome. I'm glad the WWE made the right choice. You see right here, as you can see, there's Randy Orton right there, right? And there's John Cena. You know, I'm so happy because these two had a match tonight. It was a Hell in a Cell match. And you see these two right here, I'm going to teach you guys, have been having 3 million matches. Maybe even more than 3 million. They've had, these two guys right here have had so many matches that I think if you went back and watched the WWE in 2007 and stopped, you would know you've seen it before.
Right.
Good night.
It's off?
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Night.
You
Nothing.
And the wrestling thing good?
Yeah.
Don't be all loud. What are you doing, going to bed?
No, I'm just going to make the video, upload it, and then go to bed.
But don't be loud.
I won't. But yeah, as you can see here, these two guys had a match. Now, I want to thank the WWE because I was in like all prepared to come out and just bash the company because I thought they were going to make these two the main event of Hell in a Cell, but they didn't. They did what was right for business, or best for business, if you will, and made Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins the main event for Hell in a Cell, the so-called double main event. And they did the right main event, and I'm happy about that. And I'm happy that Randy Orton and John Cena didn't main event another show. Now, I want to bring something else to you guys' attention. You see, I've seen these guys wrestle so much that it'd be like pretty much that I've already seen this match if you look at it, right? I mean, think about it this way. They probably did all the same moves. Cena went to do the FU and then it went counted into the RKO, typical moves. I bet they did the first shit they did with the first Hell in a Cell match they had. I bet they did a lot of stuff that they have done before that we have seen countless times. STF, DDT, the Orton stomps. I bet they did some different stuff, but maybe they hit each other with a chair, the steps, you know, so I bet there was that. I know Cena won. I knew ahead of time Cena was going to win. You want to know why I knew Cena was going to win? Let me think about it this way. Brock Lesnar, because the winner of that match would face Brock Lesnar for the championship. And Randy Orton's a heel, and Brock Lesnar's a heel. Well, that would make sense. And John Cena's a face, so that would make sense. And they have unfinished business. So, predictable shit, not watching that. I don't want to ever see a Randy Orton John Cena match. Alright, case closed. So let's talk about the pay-per-view. Let me get my notes, my cheat sheets. Alright. And I want to start, so now that I've gotten that out of the way, let's start with so this is my WWE Hell in a Cell 2014 review, and we get the kickoff, and the panel was Renee Young, Booker T, Paul Heyman, and Alex Riley. And I thought they actually did a pretty good job on the panel. I thought Paul Heyman did a good job because when they tried to plug the WWE Network, Paul Heyman was like, "No, I'm not gonna. I'm here to support my advocate Brock Lesnar. I'm not here to watch. I'm not here to plug the WWE Network." And then when they were talking about the Bellas feud, Nikki Bella and Brie Bella, they talked to Booker T likes to say this catchphrase, Chucky, Ducky, quack, quack. And little ducks popped up, and Paul Heyman was like, "What does that mean?" And it means like, "Oh, it means shit's about to go down. It means stuff's about to happen." And he's like, "That's gonna trend on Twitter." And then Paul Heyman was checking his Twitter, like, "Oh my gosh, that is trending on Twitter." And when they were talking about the Dean Ambrose Seth Rollins match, Alex Riley gave like 4 keys of success to that they would win. I thought that was awesome stuff. I really like Alex Riley doing these. I think that he should continue to do these forever. And then, so yeah, I thought that was good. And then we get JBL, Michael Cole, and Jerry the Kid Lawler. They were on commentary for both the panel and for both the pre-show and the actual show. And then we got Ms. Dow TV with The Miz. Mizdow TV's The Miz's stunt double, Damien Mizdow. He was the host. I thought this was awesome. Damien Mizdow would go to ask Miz a question, and then when Miz answered the question, he would talk at the same time Miz would. So I thought that was awesome. And he said, "I'm glad I gave you this opportunity to be my stunt double, not to host this TV show. No other movie stars would do that." And he talked about how Damien Mizdow, the Miz talked about how he's beaten Sheamus 3 times and he's going to become the new United States champion. I have bugs flying around my room, so if you see me going like this, that's why. He talked about how, and Damien Mizdow was like, "You're my best friend in the whole world" and stuff. So they did like a hug, and then Miz was like, "You're the best. You're not only my stud, you're my best friend," and I thought that was awesome. And then Sheamus came up on the screen, and he was like, "I'm glad you guys." He talked about pretty much had a promo saying that I'm going to show you the trailer and I'm going to give you away something big. And then he blow kicks the camera guy. I thought that was good. And then afterwards, The Miz and Damien Mizdow were pissed off. And then we got then they went back to the panel, and then we got an actual kickoff match. It was Bo Dallas versus Mark Henry. I actually picked Bo Dallas to win this match. I just thought he would. But Bo Dallas comes out to cut a promo. He talks about how he's now the new world's strongest man since he's beaten Mark Henry 4 times, and talks about how you're like the leader of life. And then afterwards, Mark Henry just attacks him right off the bat and hits a world's strongest slam. The match was probably like 30 seconds at best. At first, I was like, this just made Bo Dallas look weak. And then Bo Dallas talks about Mark. He cuts a promo. He didn't even get his T-shirt off either. Bo Dallas still had his T-shirt on. He's like, "You cheated. You didn't win in life. So I won in life. So now I'm 5-0 against Mark Henry." And then afterwards, Mark Henry throws him into the barricade. But I thought that was like good stuff. But I actually didn't. I guess the match is. I think it was like 7:50 when the match was about to happen. So I guess she didn't really think it was going to be too long. And then so then we're on the actual show, same commentators. And we get the first, well, then it shows the Hell in a Cell video package, the build up for the match between John Cena and Randy Orton and Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. And then we get the first match. It was Dolph Ziggler defending the Intercontinental Championship in a 2 out of 3 falls match against Cesaro. Good match, but I have some problems with it. This was a great match. At first, Cesaro and Ziggler were exchanging chain grapples or chain wrestling. And then they both did roll-ups, and then Cesaro right off the bat did the Cesaro swing, and he tried to cover Ziggler, but he kicked out, and then Ziggler rolled up Cesaro, and he got a fall, so afterwards Cesaro attacks him. He does the knee stomp onto the gut, and then Dolph, they have to I guess they get some sort of rest period after a fall, so then when Dolph Ziggler got his rest period, Cesaro came in and did an uppercut, and tried to pin Ziggler off that, but he kicked out. And he tried to go off the middle rope to do an elbow, but Ziggler moved, and then he did a jumping, arm DDT, and Cesaro kicked out of that, but then Cesaro's arm started hurt him, and then there was a one good spot where Dolph Ziggler got him into a cross face chicken wing sleeper hold kind of move, and Cesaro was able to fight out of it by doing a superplex off the top rope, and Ziggler kicked out of that. Cesaro hit a big uppercut, and I thought he was going to get the second fall, but Ziggler kicked out of that. Cesaro went shoulder first into the steel post, and Ziggler hit the Fameasser, and Cesaro kicked out of that. And then Cesaro tried to do the neutralizer, but Ziggler fought out of it and hit a super kick, but Cesaro got out of it. I guess kicked out of it, and then Ziggler hit a zigzag for the win, which I was happy. The match was good. I just wish Cesaro could have at least gotten one fall. It kind of made him look weak that he didn't really get a fall, so I wish Cesaro had at least gotten one fall. But I guess that's fine. Not really, but, I guess I have to deal with it. So then the Authority is backstage. It's Randy Orton, Corporate Kane, Stephanie McMahon, and Triple H. And Randy Orton's pissed that Seth Rollins attacked him on Monday, so he wants something done about it. He wants to talk to Seth Rollins. And Triple H and Stephanie McMahon just want him to take out his anger on John Cena tonight. and Randy Orton says he'll do it his way, but I'm still going after Seth Rollins. And then we get Nikki Bella versus Brie Bella. Loser becomes the winner's assistant for a month, and if the person doesn't comply, they will be forced to quit. That's technically like being fired if you're forced to quit something. The match was I wasn't kind of interested in the match, but I guess it kind of picked up a little bit, but it was just kind of there. I don't think I'm gonna remember this match anytime soon. But it picked up a little towards the end. Brie Bella did a dive on Nikki Bella. Um, Nikki Bella hit a torture rack backbreaker, and Brie Bella kicked out of that. Brie Bella got the yes lock in um, on Nikki Bella, and Nikki got the ropes. And then eventually, she did the same. Nikki did the same forearm to Brie that she did at SummerSlam, and then hit the torture rack backbreaker, and she won. I think that's the also, and I figured that would happen considering the fact that the heel. It makes more sense for Nikki to win because I think she'll. It just makes more sense. It's hard to explain. If you get it, then you get it. And then Golden Stardust defend the tag team titles against Jimmy and Jay, the Usos. I thought the match was okay, but I thought the Night of Champions match that they had was better. It picked up a little towards the end. It was just kind of like a typical tag team match at first, and then the Usos hit a double superplex on Golden Stardust at the end. I should mention too that Stardust. I liked his attire tonight. I should have taken a picture of it, and it was like typical his attire like that he normally wears, and then he had like blue stars on it. I thought like he had blue and then he had stars on it, so I thought that was awesome. And then what was I saying? Oh, Brie Bella, and then no, I was thinking about because I was reading that the Usos hit the splash and tries to pin Goldust off it, but Stardust breaks it up. So then the other Uso comes in and attacks Stardust, but the referee gets that Uso out, and then Stardust clips the other Uso's leg, and Goldust hits the final cut for the win, and they retain the WWE Tag Team Championships, which I expected. I hope though the Usos, I don't think they will, but I hope they don't fall back to like what the job was now. But I don't think they will. I think they realize that they're getting a crowd reaction, so I think they realize that they'll stay. I don't think they should get another tag team title match, but I think they should at least stay relevant. Then there's John Cena, Randy Orton, Hell in a Cell match. So I turned off the pay-per-view for a little bit and did other stuff. And then Big Show was backstage, and he's hyped up to face Rusev, and he says, "I'm going to do it for the United States of America and for you." And he says that he's going to take out. And then afterwards, when he takes out Rusev, he's gonna go to Shrewsbury, Texas, because it was in Dallas, Texas tonight, and we're going to have a barbecue. And then we get the next match. It was Sheamus defending the United States Championship against The Miz with Damien Mizdow at ringside. Damien Mizdow's being funny, doing all the same moves Miz does. One thing is when Sheamus likes to do the 10 beats of the baboon, and he does it, and Damien Mizdow got in the position for it as well and kept getting clubbed as well. It was awesome. Eventually, Miz gets some offense in. He does the neckbreaker, the DDT, and he just starts dominating Sheamus. And when Miz argued, saying that was 3, Damien Mizdow argued with nobody. It was awesome. And then eventually, Sheamus starts to get back into the match. He does his comeback, and Sheamus gets distracted by Damien Mizdow, and Miz tries to roll him up, but then Sheamus rolls him up, but the referee's distracted by Damien Mizdow, so he can't make the count. So Sheamus should have won it there. And then what happens is Miz then hits the skull crusher finale on Sheamus. I actually thought that was going to be it, but Sheamus kicked out. And then Miz tried to go off the top rope, but Sheamus caught him into a brogue kick, which Damien Mizdow sort of sold. And
pinned him, and then afterwards Damien Mizdow went in the win and laid down in the same position Miz did after the Brawl kick. And then Sheamus lifted up Miz's arm, and Damien Mizdow lifted up his arm, and they kept doing that. Then afterwards, Sheamus picked up the Miz, and Damien Mizdow went up as well. And he did the YMCA dance with Miz, and Damien Mizdow started doing it as well. It was awesome and funny as hell. And then afterwards, Sheamus hit the Brawl kick on Miz again, and Damien Mizdow also went down. So I thought that was awesome. That was like Damien Mizdow was like the highlight of this match, but the match was still okay. But Damien Mizdow was just made this match a lot better than it was. Then Brie Bella's backstage, and she, I guess, is starting her time as Nikki Bella's assistant. She's putting all Nikki Bella's luggage in the back of her car, and she's also making dinner reservations for her, and she had to make her a smoothie and put her like a bunch of stuff in it, and then Nikki Bella just dumps it on Brie Bella and tells her to go make the same smoothie for her. So I expect segments like this to happen on Raw, Main Event, and SmackDown, and I think I might just watch those segments because I don't know, I might just watch them just so I can at least keep up to speed what's going on in 30 days. I expect them mainly to be done on SmackDown, but I can see some to get done on Raw, and I'm going to review. After I'm done reviewing the Divas Championship match, I'll give my prediction about what's going to happen with that. And then Rusev with Lana went against Big Show. They tried to play the Russian national anthem, but Big Show came out and interrupted it. And Big Show did the typical Big Show moves, and then Rusev started working on the Big Show's leg. He really started working on his leg. And then Rusev eventually tried to get in the accolade on Big Show, but Big Show countered it, and he did the, what's it called? He, like, hooked his legs, and he stretched them out, I don't know what it's called, and he got a submission move on Rusev, but he got the ropes, which was awesome. And then eventually Big Show makes a comeback. He spears him, and he's getting ready to chokeslam him, and then Mark Henry comes out. And then Big Rusev tries to fight out of it, but then eventually he gets chokeslammed, but he goes outside the ring. And Mark Henry wants to attack Rusev, but he can't. So then Big Show puts Rusev back in, tells Mark Henry to stay away. I think even Mark Henry says, go get him. And that slight distraction cost Big Show. He got kicked like several times by Rusev. And then he put him in the accolade, and I think he passed out. And Rusev won. And he actually ended up kicking Mark Henry too. At first I was kind of like, what? Because I was thinking, why didn't I thought Mark Henry... Like, what was the point of having Mark Henry out there? He didn't really do anything except that one little distraction. I thought they were going to have Mark Henry just turn heel and attack Big Show, but maybe that's going to happen in the future. Maybe Big Show and Mark Henry will start hating each other, and Mark Henry will turn heel. Maybe Big Show could too, but I would prefer Mark Henry. I don't really like Mark Henry as much as a face as I do a heel. He's way better as a heel. And then Dean Ambrose is backstage, and he says tonight he's going to make Seth Rollins looked like a zombie from The Walking Dead and a bunch of like other crazy stuff. And I thought that was awesome. He said the zombie from The Walking Dead, gave that the plug, and yeah, I just thought it was awesome because I'm a huge Walking Dead fan right now. I'm not really up to speed on the episodes, but I'm a pretty big Walking Dead fan. If you want to check out my own The Talking Native videos, you can see all the Walking Dead reviews there. And then we have AJ Lee defending the Divas Championship against Paige, and Alicia Fox was at ringside, and I forgot to mention that Paige and Alicia Fox had an interview earlier, but I forgot to mention it, and I don't really remember what they said. This match was pretty decent actually. There was AJ Lee did tornado DDTs, Hurricanranas. Paige did big boots, just continued kneeing her and just was aggressive in this match, and she threw him right into the barricade. And then Paige and AJ Lee fought outside the ring eventually, and she tried to suplex AJ Lee, I think, like over the barricade, which was strange. And AJ Lee pulls down the leg, and Paige's head hits the barricade. And I thought there was going to be like a count out so the feud could continue, but Alicia Fox puts Paige back in the ring, and then AJ Lee gets the Black Widow in, and Paige taps up immediately because I think her head was hurting anyways from the barricade. And afterwards, I think Paige and Alicia Fox aren't friends because Paige walks away from Alicia Fox afterwards. I think they're gonna do like a match tomorrow night on Raw between Paige and Alicia Fox, and then they're gonna now I think AJ Lee's gonna go into a feud with Nikki Bella, and Nikki Bella they're gonna do the same storyline that Wade Barrett did with John Cena. Um, when Wade Barrett forced John Cena to help him win the WWE Championship, except this time Brie Bella actually will, and yeah. Um, and then we get the main event, which is going to be a lawn talk video. I mean, lawn talk about this. Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins. Awesome shit. Um, Dean Ambrose comes out, and he comes out. He doesn't just walk out. He comes out. He has a tendo stick on his back. He comes out with like a bag, and he comes out, starts throwing shit in the ring, like steel with chairs, a table. I don't think he threw it in the ring, but I think he brought out a table. And then he decides to start the match and stop on top of the Hell in a Cell. And that completely reminded me of the Mankind Undertaker Hell in a Cell match, because they had a King of the Ring, my favorite Hell in a Cell match of all time. And the commentators didn't even reference it. They didn't even remember that. They were like, have you ever seen someone start a match on top of the Hell in a Cell? I'm like, nope. I don't know what they're trying to do there. Now I know that Dean Ambrose is just like Mick Foley, though, a Cactus Jack or Mankind, one of those guys. So then Seth Rollins comes out, and at first he doesn't want to start off on top of the Hell in a Cell, so he comes out with Jamie Noble and Joey Mercury. And I was thinking at first, man, I don't think these guys have ever main evented a pay-per-view, so this is like, they're retired, and now they finally get to main event a pay-per-view. So they go up, though, and get Dean Ambrose, and he's fighting him off. He's hitting him with the kendo stick, and then Seth Rollins attacks Ambrose, and they stop brawling. And then Noble and Mercury clip Ambrose's legs, and Rollins beats Ambrose with the kendo stick, and then he drops the kendo stick, and he tells Mercury and Noble to throw him off the cell, and Ambrose fights him off, and he suplexes Jamie Noble on top of the cell, and he tries to go after Rollins. He's trying to fall down, to go down, but Mercury stops him, and then he attacks Mercury, and then Ambrose and Rollins start climbing the cell. They start punching each other, bashing each other's head off the cell, and then they both fall, and both of them go through the announcer's table, which was awesome. So then the medical attention, the medical staff come out and take them off on stretchers. This was definitely like the Undertaker Mankind match. And Dean Ambrose gets up because I knew this was going to happen. I knew he wasn't going to leave. So then he attacks Rollins and bashes him off the cell, slams the Hell in a Cell door in his face, and then he closes the door and tells him to lock it. So Ambrose and Rollins are trapped in there now. And Ambrose throws Rollins in the ring, and he just sits in a chair, just lets Rollins feel the pain. And what he does is he attacks and Rollins with the chair. He just continues to beat him down with the steel chair, and it was just fucking sick. And then what happens is it's just sick. He tried to drive a screwdriver into Seth Rollins, but he was able to hit him up off the ropes, and he tries to escape, and Ambrose attacks him, throws him into the cell, and he sets up a table, and he wedges it against the cell, and I think Rollins escaped, and Ambrose tried to put Rollins through it, but he escapes, and then Ambrose dives on Rollins, and then what happens is Ambrose just, I think Rollins eventually, yeah, he does get the upper hand. Ambrose was going to try to suplex him on a bunch of chairs, and Rollins counted into a back suplex on the chairs, and then afterwards he wedged a table between the cell and the ring, and he tried to suplex Ambrose through it, but then he fights it off, and Rollins goes on the table, and Ambrose goes off the top turnbuckle and elbows Seth Rollins through the table, and then Ambrose and Rollins just rubbing it in Jamie Noble and Joey Mercury's face. They were like, "This is too far. You're going too far, man." And then after Ambrose is like grinding Rollins' face onto the cell, and then Corporate Kane sprays a fire extinguisher in Ambrose's eyes, and then Seth Rollins power bombs Dean Ambrose through the table that Ambrose had set up, and then hits the curve stomp on him, but Ambrose kicks out of it because he tried to pin him. Then Seth Rollins tried to hit him with the Money in the Bank, tried to curve stomp him while he was on Ambrose while he was on the Money in the Bank contract. And this before that, he had beaten Ambrose with a chair too. And Ambrose fought out of it. It hit Rollins with a briefcase and tried to pin him, but Rollins kicked out of that. Then Ambrose brings out cinder blocks, which was awesome. And he was gonna curve stomp Seth Rollins through those cinder blocks, and then it goes black. It goes dark, and we hear like this prayer ritual kind of get insane. This like ritual chant, and we keep hearing this, and then we see it comes back on, and we see and like an illusion. We see a lantern and like an illusion of I think it was supposed to be Bray Wyatt, and Ambrose doesn't know what's going on, and Bray Wyatt just clotheslines Dean Ambrose, and Bray Wyatt hits a standing rock bottom on Dean Ambrose, and then Seth Rollins pins him, gets the win, and I thought that was awesome, because it was unexpected. Then afterwards, Bray Wyatt hits the Sister Abigail on Dean Ambrose to end the show, and I thought this was awesome. Now I get to see them feud, and I really want to see Dean Ambrose and Bray Wyatt feud because they're both crazy, and it would just make an awesome feud. So I can't wait to see what happens on Raw between Dean Ambrose and Bray Wyatt, and I guess the Bellas, and with Rusev, who they're gonna throw their next opponent, who's gonna be his next opponent or his victim, and that's my review of Hell in a Cell. My thoughts is I thought this was kind of an average pay-per-view, and the main event was amazing, and the Sheamus Miz match was good, but really everything else was just kind of average. The tag team title match felt average. I did like the opener actually, but I did have a flaw. I wish Cesaro had gotten a fall on Ziggler. It was a good match though. So yeah, the tag team title match was average. The Bella match was average. Big Show and Rusev wasn't bad, but I just felt like an average pay-per-view. And I wonder though what brought my expectations high was after I had taken a break from the pay-per-view when Orton and Cena happened. That's when I was like, whew. When I took that break, I wonder if that's maybe what brought my excitement level up high. So we'll see what happens though. That's my review. I'll be back tomorrow to give you another video.